everyone. We are live here today to celebrate my 4-year AuthorTube anniversary, which is actually tomorrow, but I wanted to do that a day early and celebrate, and we're going to have a lot of fun because I am going to be reacting to my very first AuthorTube video. Now, I do have some other videos on this channel, which was that I had before I started AuthorTube. So some dance games, some arcade game videos, some just kind of life videos, but I am going to be reacting to my very first AuthorTube video. And I thought it would be fun to do it live with you guys so that you can react with me and just have some fun and laugh at myself. So Heather is here. Hey, yes. Hi. Thank you, AuthorTube anniversary. Yes, and what would it be without like my cat meow bomb, who is usually behind me as always. I made sure to feed him so he wouldn't be too much of a chatty catty. Yes, I need laughs. Me too. Thank you for joining. If you're watching the replay, let me know and join in the fun. Muko Man. Yes, that is Muko Man's nickname. So we're just going to jump right in because I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet so that you can just join in with the fun and we can just like get our laugh on. So I am going to pull up the video here. It's going to be cringy. It's going to be very cringy, you guys. But that is all part of the wonder of this journey that I've been on. I've come to make so many friends, and I love this community that I've built. So thank you all so much for like being a part of that. Charlie's here. Hi, Charlie. It's 10:30 p.m. Oh, thank you for joining at the end of your day. That's exciting. All right, we are gonna hit play. Oh, and so when this is playing, let me know if the sound is okay, because I want to make sure that it's not too loud or too soft. So just let me know as the video is playing. Is playing. Sorry. Oh no, you can't hear anything. Oh no, no sound. Uh-oh. Let's see. That's not good. Hey, Chris. I'm trying to play the video, but they can't hear the sound of the video. Can you help me?
I can try.
Okay.
What are you?
Oh, I'm on StreamYard. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Technical difficulties here. Shoot. That's not cool.
I've never used StreamYard before, so I'm not sure.
Uh-oh, we might not be able to do this, you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh.
Yeah, because speaker would be output to your sound device. Mic would be output to them.
Yeah.
But the only... yeah.
I wonder if I just play it without my headphones in?
I mean, audio wouldn't be the best. It would be speakers playing into the webcam mic, but that...
Well, you know, that's the only thing I can think of to try. Okay, we're going to try this here. Okay, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay, you guys, let me know. Can you play it on your phone while showing the video on the screen? Okay, well, let's see if this works. All right. Okay.
First off, I just wanted to say thank you for...
Okay.
Hey, writer friends, Holly here. First off, I just wanted to say thank you for stopping by my channel and thank you for watching my very first video.
Did you hear that? Was it really faint?
The very first video.
Did you hear that? Oh, there it goes. Okay, loud and clear. Yay! Okay, awesome. Okay, so I was very, very awkward here when I first started. I'm so glad this worked. Phew. Thank you for bearing with me, you guys. But because Chris was helping me set up my camera and my microphone, which you see there, and he was standing there to make sure that everything worked out okay. So I was just super nervous because he was just like staring at me. Past Holly is adorable in my house. Oh, thank you. I didn't age in 4 years. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. It's good to know. My hair color is a little bit different, but I'm pretty much the same here. This is good. This is very encouraging. But I remember I was trying to go by a script and like say everything word for word, but I kept like forgetting because I was trying to remember too many chunks of things. So it was really, really difficult. And obviously my intro has changed over time. So let's watch on.
So I've watched a lot of videos by different writers and authors and a lot of indie authors, and I've learned so much by watching their videos and getting their writing advice. And I've made a lot of friends too in the writing community. So I figured, why not be a part of this awesome community? So I'm a writer myself, and now I'm a newbie AuthorTuber. So I wanted to start off with this.
I'm so awkward. Like I'm kind of robotic. I have changed it a lot where I don't script my videos as much anymore. I do have talking points, but it's not like word for word that I'm following because I just feel very stiff, and I am definitely stiff here. So I've definitely grown a lot. And like Heather said, my background has changed a lot too. That is correct. I do want to try to switch out my background because this isn't very aesthetic either, but it works with the lighting because the window's right here. So I get good lighting in that sense. And yay for friends.
First video to share my top 5 editing tips for any writer. So I actually finished editing the final draft, hopefully the final draft of my first novel, Ranakori Realm, back in June. And I learned a lot about the editing process from editing Ranakori Realm. The final draft is actually the 5th draft of this novel. So I've been through a lot of ups and downs of learning what it takes to make your novel the best it can be.
Oh, like talking about Ranakori Realm, it has been so long. If you have been my OG followers on Instagram, I talked about Ranakori Realm all the time. I shared aesthetics, I shared quotes. I did do a small batch of queries, like maybe 10 queries, 10 or 15 queries, and I didn't go too far with that because I just knew that I could improve in my writing and I could grow in my writing, and there was still a lot for me to learn. I would hopefully eventually love to come back to Ranakori Realm, like once I am more established as an author and do a rewrite, and because I just love those characters. But it's so near and dear to my heart because Ranakori Realm is what got me back into the writing process and back into writing. So it just feels really good to hear that word.
So I thought I'd share with you my 5 editing tips. So let's get right into the video. Tip number 1, print your manuscript out. Once you finish that bad boy, it's time to tear it apart. Don't worry, your first draft is gonna be crappy. Everyone's is. Yep. That's why it's a draft. You're gonna have to go through multiple revisions, and that's normal. But printing out your first draft helps to look at your novel in a different way instead of on the computer. Most people don't handwrite their novels anymore. They type it on the computer. So sometimes looking at the screen is different than seeing it on paper and reading it as if it were a book. So printing out your manuscript is helpful not only to look at your novel with fresh eyes, but also so that you can write down and mark up that novel with the specific revisions that you want to do.
I definitely still agree with this tip. I still do this. I still print out the first draft and mark up all those edits. Let's see, Charlie asked, do you have any videos for a newbie AuthorTuber? I want to start an AuthorTube channel under one of my pseudonyms soon after I move out. That is awesome, Charlie. I would love that. When you make your channel, let me know so I can give you a follow. I actually don't have any like AuthorTube videos other than there have been some AuthorTube tags that have questions in them relating to like your biggest tip for AuthorTuber, newbie AuthorTubers, or something like that. I think, I don't know if I did the AuthorTube. It was a recent tag that I'll have to try to find about AuthorTube. But I'll have to let you know. I know that's something that I haven't really dabbled in, is giving AuthorTube advice. Okay, I'm just checking really quick because I know I did a tag recently. Recently probably like means last year. Yeah, I can't find it. If I find it, I will share it with you. There is, oh, here we go. It was my 3-year anniversary. I did the AuthorTube oldie tag, or oldie tag, oldie. So I am going to, hold on, bear with me while I click on this. Okay, it's muted. All right, so let me add this into the comments here. And this has kind of what I've learned, how I've grown over the three years since this was last year. But I think they have some good advice. And you handwrite. That's awesome. That's crazy. I know some people do still handwrite. I think I definitely was a newbie in that sense, where I thought everyone just typed out their manuscripts, and a lot of people do handwrite.
Usually I tackle the biggest changes that I need to make first, any changes to the plot, character arcs, any plot holes that I found along the way. And then you want to write those down and maybe mark up each chapter with Post-it notes of those changes that you want to make. I also like to just scour through the whole manuscript, not like nitty-gritty, line by line, but just kind of overall general feel of the novel, whether I'm like, this paragraph sounds confusing, fix it. And then I'll go back to the main document once I finish going through the whole printed out manuscript, and then I'll make all those changes that I implemented. So.
Yes, that is also a good thing. But that's always like future Holly's problem, when you say fix this or add more or change this, and then you go back to it to actually do that, and you're like, really? That's all you wrote? Like, great. So I still do this, and I probably should learn to be a little more specific. Oh, yay. Thanks, Charlie. Yes, I hope it is helpful for you.
So I don't usually look at and make all the changes on the actual document, but I'll just mark up, okay, this needs to be fixed, or, you know, clarify this or change this. And then I go onto the computer and I make all those changes.
And yes, so I usually mark up any developmental changes I need to do on that paper copy, and then I implement it on the computer. And then when I do my line edits, I usually do it on the computer, but then I also, I might say this in the editing tips. So I'm going to wait, because maybe I'm giving the advice that past Holly gave.
Tip number 2. Read your manuscript out loud.
That was it.
I was amazed by how many times I was reading my novel out loud, and I was just cringing at how awkward and weird it sounded. Sometimes we think that dialogue sounds good when we're writing it out, but then when you read it out loud, it totally doesn't make sense. And you realize people don't really talk like this in real
life. Yes. That's something I still have a problem with. My beta readers will tell me that sometimes, like, my dialogue can be, so the 2 biggest things that I realize I still need to work on are my dialogue and villains. I still make my villains like mustache twirling villains, and sometimes my dialogue can be a little stilted and like not really realistic and flow smoothly. So present Holly still needs to work on that.
Life. So reading through your manuscript helps you figure those things out. Mm-hmm. Another thing that helps with reading your manuscript out loud is finding those awkward phrases or phrases that you repeat over and over again. Sometimes I'd read the beginning of a chapter and I'd use a phrase, and then halfway down the page I'd use it again. And then 2 pages later, I use it again, and I'm like, what is going on here? I didn't catch it when I was reading it, but when I was reading it out loud, I was able to see it. I was able to find those changes. Plus, it's fun to act out your characters out.
I'm so awkward here. This is where I talk about the cringy. Like I'm like, yeah, you're able to find it. Oh, thank you, Heather. Realistic dialogue is difficult. I love your villains, though. Thank you. Good advice. Yes. I can't use my name under publishing. Oh no. Maybe you can do, yeah, Charlie C. Or can you do like your middle name? Because a lot of people do, like, if your middle name is like, you know, CM or something, you could do like CM Cummings or Charles M. Cummings or something like that.
Out loud, especially if they have a funny accent, or during a scene of playful banter, or when someone's making a joke. There's so many times where I'm just laughing out loud, or I'm just having so much fun because I'm acting out these different characters like it's a movie. Tip number 3, use editing apps like Grammarly or the Hemingway editor app.
Yes.
Grammarly is a free app that you can download straight to your computer that you can use to work its magic on your Word document. I like using Grammarly because it catches some of the grammar mistakes that Microsoft Word doesn't pop up for me. I also like it because even when I was working on the 4th draft of Ranakori Realm, I still caught grammar mistakes. And the reason why is because as you're going through those multiple revisions, sometimes you're writing completely new scenes, or you're changing up dialogue and rewriting lines. And so you may be writing new grammar mistakes. So I recommend every draft using the Grammarly app.
I don't know if I do this anymore. I don't do the Grammarly. I don't really like care about grammar until the very last draft. So I actually do this differently. So I still love Grammarly and the Hemingway editor app. Wonderful, wonderful apps to use to like refine your manuscript, but I definitely wait until the very last draft for Grammarly. Hi, Mevia. Oh, thank you. Happy 4 years. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. I totally get that, Charlie. What about Prowritingaid? Yes, I didn't know about Prowritingaid when this video came out. I don't use Prowritingaid, even though I have tried it, just because I became very overwhelmed because it is a very comprehensive app. And that's even the free version. There's so much more that the paid version gives you that I haven't tried, but I was very overwhelmed with it and it was a little too much for me. But Grammarly and the Hemingway editor app was a little bit more manageable for me personally, because like the Prowritingaid, I was like, my anxiety is like shooting through the roof, but I would also highly recommend it if you like to be very detailed with your editing. Yeah.
Because the app can take a while to scan a whole document, I recommend cutting and pasting each chapter of your manuscript into a new document. That way it won't take forever to scan the whole manuscript, especially if you have over 100K Word document, because that would take a long time and It's pretty much impossible. The second app, the Hemingway editor app, is another app that you can download straight to your computer, but I like cutting and pasting each chapter into the website version. This app has been invaluable to me. It takes note of your adverb count and your use of passive voice. Other things that it does is...
I'm just so like dry here. I'm like, get some inflection in your voice, Holly. Like, really? You're so like, oh, it's a great thing that I like paused on. Hold on. Oh, thank you, Jessie. Thank you so much. And Jessie finally came back to AuthorTube. I'm so excited because Jessie was one of the first AuthorTubers I followed. So like, I'm so happy you're back. And Jessie is doing live writing sprints, I think it is tonight, which I need some accountability and motivation. So just a plug for her that is going on tonight. If you guys are looking for sprints. Ooh, monkey. Okay, website version's free, download version is paid. Okay, good to know. Yes, and everyone's so happy that you're back, Jessie. Yay, I definitely need to be there.
Highlights sentences that are hard to read and also very hard to read. They'll highlight the hard to read in yellow and the very hard to read in red. Lastly, it highlights phrases that have simpler alternatives. With everything that the Hemingway editor app does, it's always going to catch things that you will not find just by reading through it.
I'm so
As a
awkward.
fantasy writer, this app can be frustrating at times because it highlights all of the made-up words and original names that I've come up with in my story.
That is true. That is annoying.
For example, it kept marking one of my characters' names, Millie, as an adverb because it ends in ly. So I just took note of that. Any time that my adverb count was really high, I just deducted the amount of times her name showed up and I was in the clear. So take note of that when you're using this app. Tip number 4, get feedback from beta readers and critique partners.
Yay!
You can't edit your book alone. You need people that haven't seen your work before, that don't know your story, and you need a new set of eyes on your manuscript. My beta readers and critique partners have helped me work out any kinks in my plot, helped me reword any confusing phrases or awkward sentences, and have just made my novel better.
Woohoo!
Last year, I thought my novel's third draft was amazing and so good and totally ready to query the literary agents. But I sent my manuscript out to 2 new critique partners, and they both gave me the same advice, that I needed more foreshadowing of a critical piece of background information for my main character.
Oh, yeah, I remembered.
I thought it was totally obvious. I was trying to keep it a secret for as long as I could and then reveal it at the end. But for them, they told me that they felt blindsided by it. And I wouldn't have known that because I totally knew all along what was going to happen, but they didn't. So I reworked that into the plot and kind of added in more foreshadowing. And I wouldn't have known that if they didn't give me that advice. And finally, tip number...
Yay for beta readers and critique partners. So helpful. Just, 200%. That's what you need.
Number 5, go through your manuscript line by line.
Oh, yeah.
Line by lines can be one of the most daunting tasks of the editing process, but it's also been one of the most helpful things that I've ever done.
Yeah, when I first started, line edits were daunting. Not anymore. Now I can't wait for line edits. I am just so paralyzed by developmental edits that I would do line edits any day of the week over developmental edits. So, oh, poor little naive Holly. I'm just kidding.
Line by lines are just that, going through your manuscript line by line, finding any unnecessary words you can cut to tighten up on your word count, or removing any flowery prose that just drags on and on. This is the most time-consuming part of the editing process, but it has also been the most helpful, helping me go from an okay third draft to a query-ready final draft.
Ooh.
So that's all I've got for you today. I hope that you found these tips helpful and can use them no matter where you are in your writing journey. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite editing tips are. Until next time, bye.
Oh my gosh, the ending. So I obviously have grown in my intro and outro, right, guys? And I say the same thing after every time. Also, I have my intro. I didn't have an intro music for this first video, but I have that now. And then I also have my outro screen, and my music is also different too. So that was really, really fun. Your first video was good. Oh, thank you. And yes, it shows how far I've come, how much more comfortable I am in front of the camera, especially with live streams, because you can't go back and edit. So any mistakes, like not being able to hear the video, it's like you gotta work through it. Any tips on not being camera shy? I feel I look shy and weird and iffy on recordings. Yes, you just have to start. That's always what I heard, because as you saw, I was very stiff. I was very awkward. I was shy, and I didn't even want to speak to the camera with well, at the time, my fiance. Now my husband's like here, and I'm like, it's fine. It's totally fine. So you just need to jump in and do it, because you're never going to feel like completely comfortable, and you're never going to feel like it's the right time. And even sometimes too, like if I'm starting a live stream, sometimes I get a little bit nervous, and then I hop on and I'm fine, because you guys are all my friends. So that's my biggest piece of advice, because you can, try to practice, by yourself, but you just need to be in front of people. I think definitely being in front of the camera and pretending like you're speaking to a friend, or a close family member, or someone who's really into writing, and talking like that, and then you're going to feel more comfortable. It's going to feel more natural, and then you can edit the video, everything. It's not like you are like on a live stream, so I think that works a little bit better. Thank you, Mevia. It was good, but I agree, you have grown. Yes. And you have a PC. Don't know what the best editing software is. Free, yes, I don't know. I still pay for mine monthly. Zuko's coming to say hi. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a live stream without Sir Muko. So I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which does cost like $22.30 a month, but that's because that was the software that my husband was using when he was in school for audio engineering. And so he used to edit my videos at first, and then he taught me how to do them so I could do them on my own. So that's what I've known, and I haven't strayed away from that. So I'm not sure about any free versions. So I'm sorry, I don't know about that, but I do love Adobe Premiere Pro. There's lots of videos on YouTube about it, and it's fairly easy to use. And yes, Zuko is an Avatar: The Last Airbender, of course. I love we started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender when we got Zuko, and it was a no-brainer. I was like, we liked to name our pets after like our fandoms, and I was like, yeah, Zuko. It's gotta be Zuko. All right, you guys, so that's it. That was me reacting to my first AuthorTube video. Super cringe. I think that was a good description, but it also had still a lot of good advice that I would give today. Pretty much other than just using Grammarly after every draft, like other than kind of annoying your beta readers with, less than perfect grammar, unless there's like tons of mistakes, or if English isn't your first language and that's a problem, then just don't worry about Grammarly until the end. So I am super, super excited to see what this next year of AuthorTube brings. I know I have been a little MIA for a while and have been doing more live streams lately, but I want to try to get back to videos. I did actually get a new camera because my other camera actually broke, and I was like, oh, it's been 4 years. That makes a lot of sense why this started like crapping out on me. But so I got a new camera, a new tripod. Everything is great, so I'm excited to start filming my videos with this. So hopefully you will see a new video from me next week. And thank you for joining me and celebrating 4 years on AuthorTube. So if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will answer them, even if you're watching the replay. So thank you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.